I want to do this video, and I'm going to show you at the very end. We're going to do a kind of a roll around the vehicle that I just purchased. So I'm very excited. This is one of those vehicles that I've essentially been dreaming about since 2005, ever since I saw it. Kind of give you a backdrop or a backstory on why I bought this vehicle. Many of you are going to think that I'm crazy for buying it. To me, it's one of the baddest cars I've ever seen in my life. And a lot of you are going, no, not really, but you'll see it. Once you see it here at the end of this video, I think you'll be amazed about what I'm talking about and why I think it's the baddest looking vehicle I've ever seen. So a little bit of backstory. So in 2005, I was actually driving down through the central Illinois, and looked to my left at a place called Staunton, Illinois. There was a car dealership. I think it's Country Car Classics up on the hill. And we were just driving, I think, down to Belleville, Illinois. But I looked over to my left, and I saw this vehicle staring at me up on top of the hill with its double-stacked headlights and its unmistakable grille. If you've ever seen this vehicle, you'll know what I'm talking about when you look head on at this vehicle. So we get up there. It's flat black. It's a 1967 Pontiac Tempest. So if anybody's aware of the Tempest model, it's a Pontiac. The make's Pontiac. The model's Tempest. So in 66 and 67, the Pontiac body style, it's called the Coke body style, is essentially the same for the GTO, the Le Mans, and the Tempest. And they're all different trim levels. So if you had the GTO, that's the highest trim level, versus the Tempest, which is the lowest, and the intermediate is the Le Mans. So we get up on the hill, a flat black Pontiac Tempest, jacked up back tires, the classic muscle stance, has the rake to it. I'm not sure. I think they're Goodyear tires. And they had the kind of the dish look on the inside. It's solid chrome looking dish. It wasn't spokes. It was just a solid dish. It looked very super mean. But like I said, it looked super mean. The entire look of it was very impressive to me, because I've never seen a car like that in my life. Matter of fact, I didn't even know what the car was when I first saw it. I didn't know it was a Pontiac Tempest. I didn't know Pontiac Tempests were the same as GTOs. As a matter of fact, I probably didn't even know what a GTO looked like at the time, a 67 GTO. So when I got there, the back glass was missing on this vehicle. The floors were all rusted out. The back trunk pan was all rusted out. The rockers were rusted out. Matter of fact, I bought this car for $3,400 on the spot. I said, I'm getting this car. I told my wife that. We wrote a check at the dealership for $3,400. Took it off the lot. I didn't even know if it was going to make it home. About 2.5 hour drive back home. On the way home, I could look down and see I could see the ground passing beneath my feet, because the entire thing was rusted out. So I'm like Flintstone. I'm looking down there. Meanwhile, I'm loving this car. I'm like, man, this is the coolest thing I've ever bought. I fell in love with the car. I had a 455 in it, a Pontiac engine in it. You would stop at a stoplight and you'd sit there and shake and rumble. And man, I've never experienced anything like that before in my life as far as a car goes. So we get it back, and like I said, I did replace the floor pans myself. I ordered that off online. I did the rocker panels, got a welding unit just to do this myself. Never welded a day in my life. I was going to do the trunk pan next, and maybe even, I think the quarters needed. They were rusted out. I think even the fenders. So this thing was all torn up. A lot of work was required. It started leaking a lot of oils and all kinds of fluids at the very end. And it ended up putting this thing in a garage sale. So I was military, right? So we had to move around quite a bit. So I didn't want to move this car anymore. I did ship it down to, we moved down to Belleville. It was another 3.5 hour drive. So I took it down there on an actual U-Haul trailer. So when we were going to another location, I was like, no, we're not going to ship this thing down to Florida. So I'll go ahead and sell it in a garage sale. My wife thought I was crazy at the time. And I told her, no, this car is something that people look at and go, they're amazed by it because they've never seen that body style before. Or just like, wow, that's one mean looking car. I got to have it. Same with me. So I posted it. I didn't post it. Well, I had a construction paper. I can't even remember just a colored piece of construction paper that my daughter was using at the time for school. I actually taped it to the back bumper in the garage, put for sale as part of our garage sale. Sure enough, my wife's like, "You're not going to sell that." Sure enough, this guy came within our neighborhood and said, "Hey, how much is that car?" And I think I had it on there at the time. We negotiated down to $700. So I sold this car, this Pontiac 455 in it, for $700. Pretty much I gave it to him for free. That's exactly, I mean, that's what I think about it in today's terms. Paid 34, sold it for 700. So it is what it is. I ended up leaving. That was in 2006 when I sold it. We did a few more moves after that. We got to South Carolina. This was around 2013. Might have been 2012, definitely 2013 at the time. And I saw a flat black Pontiac Tempest again. This one was in Nebraska for sale at a dealership. Told my wife, I got to have this car. I want my old car back, is what I was telling her. So she said she was all for it. The car was $14,000 at the dealership. This one looked to be in better shape. They had a back glass on it this time. Nothing was rusted out. Actually, the bodywork was pretty good. I had a Pontiac 400 in it. Very clean engine. When you pop the hood on it, trunk was super solid. Looked like it had been replaced at some point. The gas tank was completely brand new. The thing ran and drove. That was the car I probably would have had mag wheels on it. That was the car I probably would have refurbished and had it redone, but I didn't. So same thing. We're moving again. So I moved that car once or twice, and then we get to our last duty station, and I'm like, I can't move this car again. We have too many cars to ship across country and tow and all that stuff. So I ended up posting it. Guy came in, talked me down to, I think it was $3,400. So he talked me down to 34. I paid $14,000 for the thing. Again, I gave the car away. He stole it from me. And that was my second Pontiac Tempest. So fast forward again 6-7 years to this year. Matter of fact, to about 3 weeks ago. So 3 weeks ago, I bought this car. I've been looking for 5 years for this 1967 Pontiac Tempest. The flat black, whatever. I was looking for something that was completed this time, completely painted, interior, headliner done, all that stuff. I wanted something that was drivable and I could take to a car show today. So we were sitting at the restaurant 3 weeks ago. I just was messing around 1967 Pontiac Tempest, or Pontiac, like I always do. And this one showed up about 40 or about 50 miles away from here. And I said, I'm looking at this car tomorrow. So sure enough, we get in the car, drive on Saturday up to the guy. The guy said that 2 other people have inquired about it, and we're the first one that showed up. So I was pretty stoked about it. And, the guy was kind of not wanting to sell the vehicle. He was going back and forth, hemming and hawing about it. I don't know about that. Well, I said, you posted it. So, I mean, he wanted a Corvette. He was a Corvette guy. His wife was a muscle car girl. So they got this Pontiac Tempest. Pontiac Tempest was white this time. It's called Montego Cream. So it's an off-white, kind of like a cream color. But the paint is beautiful. The bodywork looks like it's never been replaced whatsoever. So my idea was to just try to talk this guy out of his own car. I saw the price that he wanted on it. And matter of fact, after I looked at it, as soon as I looked at it, my wife told his wife, he's going to buy this car. And sure enough, I did. I said I wanted it right when I saw the car. I knew I was going to buy that car. Mag wheels, love the wheels on American Racing wheels. The stance, I don't know if I'm going to change the stance on it or not, but I'll show you here soon enough. We're going to get to that video. We're going to show you all around this car, and you'll see what I'm talking about as far as the looks of it. I'm super stoked to have it. And this is kind of since 2005, this is a in progress thing. So over the years, what is it? 15, 16, 17, 18 years now. So I've been wanting this car for 18 years. This is my 3rd iteration. And we're going to get to it. I'm going to show you around this car, and you let me know what you guys think of it. If it's one of the baddest looking cars around. I didn't want a Pontiac GTO. That's one of the things I did not want. The only thing that leans me towards the Tempest. For one, I own two of them. That was my first car that I was completely head over heels for. As soon as I saw that thing looking at me, I was like, man, that's the baddest car I've ever seen in my life. And I didn't care if it was a GTO or a Tempest. It happened to be a Tempest. So I love the taillights on the Tempest over the GTO. I don't like the slotted GTO taillights. I like the solid rectangular taillights on each side. That's better for me. The grill, the hood. I do like the GTO hoods. You can throw that GTO hood on the Tempest, and I mean it does give it a meaner looking stance with the GTO hood. But other than that, I don't know. I think I like the Tempest overall look. If you put a 400 in the Tempest, which this one does have a 400, then essentially it is a GTO with better taillights, I think. So, and change out the interior, of course. You can put bucket seats. This one has bucket seats versus the bench seat. I wouldn't even have minded the bench seat. I liked it, actually. So, the only downside to the Tempest, I believe, is the automatic drive on it, transmission. I would definitely love a 4-speed. I don't know if that's in the cards for this car or not. I don't mind the automatic. As far as race car goes and keeping up, yeah, you definitely need probably a shifter and maybe some engine work to keep up with those Corvettes. And well, actually, you're going to keep up with the Corvette. I guarantee you that. Modern day Corvettes, super light, all fiberglass compared to a steel, all steel body with the Tempest, which is going to be one of those things where so much weight, you're not going to push that car. I mean, unless you're souping it up to 800 horsepower. Other than that, you'll keep up with the Mustangs and the Chargers on the road, even Camaros. I think you can keep up with those if you're pushing 500, plus horsepower, which is definitely doable with a 400 cubic inch engine. Tons of people have done that. A lot of people are doing those LS swaps as well. So if you're doing an LS swap, you're not staying true to the Pontiac per se, and there's tons of them that are out there that do that. You throw a Corvette engine in there, you're definitely going to increase the power, change out your suspension, and your handling goes up. So there's a lot of things you can do with these muscle cars, but remember, they still are heavy beasts on the road. I mean, they were meant to be pretty formidable back in the 60s and 70s, and these things were not light. I mean, these were definitely the beasts on the road that would match up against each other back in the day. You throw those Corvettes in the mix, and yeah, you're not going to keep up with a Corvette, like I said, unless you're banging them out like, Big Chief off of the Street Outlaws. Those guys are putting all kinds of stuff in their cars, and yeah, they'll beat anybody on the street, no problem. But they're straight up race cars, trailer men. I'm talking about drivable cars that you can take from your house, from your driveway down to the local, gas station and wherever else you're going to go in town. Meeting up with somebody at a stoplight, and they'll sit there and rev their engine up. And that's one of the cool things about this car is, I get tons of thumbs up on it everywhere I go, and I've had people rev their engines at me, and I think they realize that once they see this car, granted, it's an automatic and it's a 400, and I'm probably only pushing 330 horsepower, but they don't know that. I mean, all they see is this mean-looking car, and I think a lot of them are scared just by the looks of it, even though it doesn't have under the hood what I would hope to have under the hood, and maybe one day I will have that under the hood to where, if you get one of those lightweight Camaros at the line, you're sitting there rumbling with your 400 engine, but you got souped up past 500 horsepower. Yeah, maybe you take them on pretty easily at that point, but nothing with 315 to 330. There's no way. So either way, let's get to the car. Let me know what you think. Baddest car you've ever seen. All right, there it is. What you've been waiting for, coming up on it. Like I said, the grill on this car, unmistakable grill. There's only 2 years that they made this grill, the style 66 and 67. As I said, it's got a GTO hood on it. The Tempest did not have it. Didn't have the vent up front. And also the grill's different for the GTO. This is all black on the interior up in here versus the mesh silver grill for the GTO. said, it did have came with the American racing wheels on it, and I said the stance. Not sure if I like the stance or not. I think it's classy, but as far as the more of the muscle look, I'm not sure if I'm going to alter it slightly. You can see it does have a minimal rake to it. If you come out here, it's got the sail panels on the back window, very similar to 66, 67 Chevelles. But then again, it is a GM product, so Chevelle and the GTOs were coming out of the same corporation. Back tail, so this it's got the dual exhausts on it. Here's the tail lights that I was talking about before. Simple rectangular design, which I like a lot better than the GTOs. GTOs had slotted 4 slots on each side. This one actually, the paint job on it is pretty good. It's pretty shiny. It looks pretty new, even though it could have been an older paint. They took care of it pretty well. The trim, the aluminum down below looks in decent shape. It's not perfect, but for what it is, it works. The chrome on the bump and on the front bumper and the back is really good shape. Like I said, I do like the black, how they did the black insert on this one. So it kind of sets off that white, all the white on it. So you have that black insert on the back, also on the front. On the hood, you have the black, which accentuates a little bit, sets it off. Like I said, all these panels were in very good condition. I don't think any body work's been done. If it has been done on this metal, it must have been minor. We tapped all around it. I didn't hear any Bondo on it. You come inside. It's got a racing steering wheel. It doesn't have the original in here, and it has some digital instrument cluster, and it doesn't have the original instruments in it. And also, like I said, this is a bucket seats. The original had the bench seat inside, and it had a column. Still has the automatic in it. They just put it on the center console. But got my finger in the way there. Yeah, it's got a B&M shifter on the automatic console there, and all the interior work's been done or redone. Back looks very good. Headliner's brand new. So I don't think I could have asked for more as far as doing work myself. It's pretty much done. Everything lines up pretty decently. I'm not saying it's completely straight, but it looks pretty solid to me. I mean, whoever had it last took care of it. The guy who I bought it from, actually had it for only 6 months. And like I said, he was a Corvette guy, so he wanted a Corvette. His wife pretty much bought this, and she wants a convertible Chevelle. So I think she's probably going to get what she wanted originally, unless he can talk to her. All right, let's get into the engine bay. Open the hood up. It's pretty clean. Looks like a new radiator housing here. It's got Edelbrock manifolds, got some Edelbrock covers. I'm not sure what's underneath there. I haven't even got into there. And I just put that new Edelbrock air filter on top of the Holley carb. The Holley carb came with it. Brand new battery. What else we got here? It does have power steering, but seems like it's pretty tough to handle at some point on some of the curves, and then backing out of the driveway. But I'm not sure if it's a function of that power steering or if that's just the way these old cars worked. But all right, so that's it. I didn't get to the trunk on this vehicle, but I'll get to that maybe in a later clip. You guys really want to see that. It's a basic trunk. I'll put some carpet in there later, but yeah, I really love this car. Super clean looking car. The clip on the old Pontiac that I showed you beforehand, the old black one, the flat black one. I really like that car. That was my favorite car, but this one does the trick. And let me know if it's the baddest car that you've ever seen. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. I'll have more content for you later.